Oh, we got a viewer. Type in the chat. Let me know where you at. It's good to have you. It's good to have you. I'm going to start in a second. I can just get going. I'll start riding this up. All right. So, this is one of the best papers I've ever read in my entire life. All right. It's absolutely phenomenal. And, you know, I watch Tino and all these guys, and we're always talking about, the psychological pattern and everything like that. In essence, he's an intraday. He's a day trader, right? But to know where you're at in the larger picture of things affects the intraday, okay? So, in essence, I'm using this model to influence my decisions in a way, all right? So, we got a 306 year, right, wave cycle that markets go in general. In a general cycle, there are 309.6 year waves, all right? This current wave we are in started in 1723.35, whatever that month would be. I guess that would be probably around, April, okay, of 1723, and culminates around 2032. Now, our market, the Dow Jones, the S&P, is not that old. However, the market, all right, the birth of financial markets is, all right. So that being said, all right, it has this wave structure to it, all right, and it just has highs and lows, and they're not perfect, all right. And so the current wave that we are in, all right, started in 2020, all right. Now, the midpoint was 2022, and its peak is in 2024, all right. Now, inside of this 51.6 year wave, right, in here, there are 8.6 year wave breaks, which down into like 3 individual alternative waves with a time duration of about 2.15, right, and 1.075 periods, right, for the first leg, right, which you would refer to as the long and the short legs, all right. So that's your M formation, all right. You get a low and a high and a higher high, and then a higher high and a higher low, all right. So that is in essence what we're looking for. What's up, Bullish? Afternoon. Let me know. All right, I will. All right. So, I know that we're big into crypto and everything like that, but crypto is a brand new market. All right. So, being into crypto, we kind of have to figure out where we fit in the general overall markets. And we have the halving, what have you, and that's fine. But really, the halving fits into the 8.6 year cycle, right? Which fits into the 51.6 year cycle, which fits into the 309.6 year cycle, right? Because everyone wants to hold the bag during the halving, right? However, if it doesn't fit, if the halving, the next one, doesn't correlate with the peaks, right, here. So right here, we have a peak in 2024. That's the halving. After the halving, it's likely we're going to be on a downturn in general markets. So the halving isn't going to, in my opinion, isn't going to have the same influence as it has had in the past. Okay? And being a teacher and everything like that, crypto is advertised as the get rich for the poor man, right? No one's ever lost money holding crypto for more than 5 years. Yes, that's been true. But you've also been in the middle of a 51.6 year cycle, okay? Right? Where you had many peaks in 2015, right? Or and a midpoint, right? Which was a peak in 2013, right? So there's your peaks, right? And then another midpoint in 2017. So those peaks that we've gotten in crypto correlate with the middle cycle here, right? And so when we peak out, and form our double top in the midpoint of the fifth wave of the 6.5, right? So this would be the sixth wave, right? So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? The sixth wave, right? In the fifth wave, right? It can be kind of complicated. That's why I'm having the video to discuss what, how it all comes together, right? Because I don't want any of my friends in my Discord holding the bag during the halving, thinking we're going to be going to new all-time highs, or maybe we don't. I know a lot of people like Blockchain Backer and even Jordan, my boy, he's like, I'm out at 40, and then you guys, I'll keep a small amount, and that's I think the way to play it. So, if you've been here during a bear market and you've accumulated Bitcoin at 16 and 20 and like that, you're pretty much good, okay? But for anybody new who sees Bitcoin at $30,000 and wonders, holy crap, should I buy now, or is it going to have a pullback and do I buy then? And then expect it to go to an all-time high in 2024 after, right? Because you're going to have a midpoint in 2020, like 2026. So you could see an all-time high. However, there's a lot of global macroeconomical things that can come into play, and I know people are tired of hearing about the macro and all that other stuff, but the facts of the matter are is that we have maybe an impending war, right? We have a CBDC that's going to come out that's going to influence assets, right? Because we're going to be purchasing stuff with that money, all right? What's the value of the dollar? Is it going to go up or down? Okay, because the value of the dollar, right, is what I purchase my Bitcoin in, or the value of my Apple stock is what I purchase my I purchase it with dollars, right? So if the dollar in the value goes up, Apple will go down, okay? Because, well, depending on things, right? And how much, right? So we kind of bank on our country devaluing its currency so our assets go up, right? That's kind of like what we bank on, all right? Is that going to happen this time? We don't know, right? Because the dollar, there's not a lot of confidence in the dollar. So in essence, yes, I think that the dollar will be devalued and assets versus the dollar will go up, but it's only going to be the most quality of assets that do that, okay? Because being that this wave of a 309.6 year cycle is over, people are going to seek the highest of quality going into the transition into the next 309 years, okay? And that's really, really long-term thinking, but these guys with big money think about their grandkids and passing on the generational wealth. And so they, is Bitcoin going to be a part of that? Maybe. They don't know, right? All that news and stuff is whatever, right? I don't trust the news and all that other stuff. I just want to look at the charts and see, what's going on here. So, all right. So that is, in essence, the cyclical wave structure, the general one that you need to follow, all right, in this model, all right? Now, intraday and other stuff like that plays out different, all right? And this paper is phenomenal. I should have included it in that thing, but every market does have its own cyclical pattern, and crypto has followed those 4-year cycles. Now, if the general market is in turmoil, it can affect the peaks of the other markets, right? So you got to understand what's going on macro and globally in order to figure out, what market is going to be having what, So, a lot of people look at this, right? The 54-year panic cycle, right? Where we would be having a panic cycle, somewhere in between 2032 and 2039, but this is stagnant. This is not dynamic. All right, this guy just took some numbers, and it doesn't account for those events that just occur out of nowhere. All right, and so we're not gonna exactly use that. All right. However, I wanted to see his model, right? So I plotted out the dates here, and I put it on the Dow Jones. All right, just to give you an idea, and for example, make sure I'm good. All right. Currently, we are in the middle, right? The 6.52, right? It's a midpoint. And we have a peak coming up in March of 2024, okay? So I expect a peak to be forming somewhere in this region. Now, the Dow Jones could also have another peak here, right, in 2032. If you believe that, then that's a good thing. And you can kind of expect something like this, where you have your first leg here, right? Come on, TradingView. Come on, TradingView. I'm live. Don't do this to me. Ugh. Anyway, you have a peak formation here. I don't know why it's being stupid. You must know I'm live, trying to educate, right? Let's see. I don't know. Here, let me refresh this thing. Reload. All right, so right now we're going into a peak, and I see a lot of people getting bullish. We're probably going to have a downturn, but see, it all depends on the close, okay? It all depends on the close of June, because every close influences everything else, all right? And so, you know, you could have a peak formation here, all right, where you get like your first leg here, which actually would be COVID, right, up in here. One leg here, you'll have down. A second leg here, right? And then your third leg could come here and then have a downturn. That would be a peak formation, right? That looks very similar to what we're describing in before. Now, the peaks can be different in every kind of cycle, all right? So, you know, two overall cycle patterns, right, in general description, right, can have like this kind of pattern, all right? However, when I was researching this, I saw the second cycle pattern, okay? Now, the second cycle pattern is more along the lines of what's going on today, okay? In general, what emerges from some government intervention by preventing the decline of points 4 and 5, government tends to prevent resolution that leaves market participants waiting the day when they will be made whole, okay? One example of this was the transition from the Congressional Congress of the United States, the outstanding debts and currency the politicians claimed that would make good. So much of its currency remains in collectors' hands, while people believed government would honor the claim, which they did not. Gold also followed this pattern, peaking in 1980, but not bottoming until 1999. The Japanese Nikkei, right? I think Nikkei 225 index is another aspect where we see government intervention extends the cycle pattern from 1 into pattern 2. Also, real estate tends to follow pattern 2, largely due to the fact that it is based upon mortgages, and once burnt, banks then shy away from real estate, largely due to the fact that it is not a liquid market once the cycle turns down. Okay, so he goes on to describe, you know, the Great Depression, and a lot of bears are looking for that Great Depression. Okay, and so you got to figure out what kind of cycle that you're in. Okay, so you got a market phase transition. Okay, which would be like out of the 6th wave. All right. We talk about the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, all right? Because markets are uncertain at the moment, and they're data-driven, okay? And so he goes on to describe some little bit of science here, okay? Things are fractal, as we know, all right? And nonetheless, I probably know that, like, the people I'm in my Discord with are probably like, yo, are we up or down? Up or down? But like it's not about that. It's about understanding the context of the market to gauge where things will go depending on sentiment, closings, earnings, all that stuff, okay? So if you are still with me, I can see I got people probably falling off. Type in the chat if you're still here. All right. All right. Timing is difficult, right? And timing can be, you know, are you on the daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, or yearly? All right. So in essence, I've developed something that I think is fairly useful. Yo, Mr. Brown, I'm gonna show you a trick. All right, people love the tricks. All right, so I'm big into Tesla numbers at the moment, and I wanted to use the 369 EMA. Now, markets in general are psychological in nature. Okay, now we always talk about. I follow Tino, but I also follow, you know, Steve Morrow. He's got nicknames for his EMAs, right? The 50 EMA is the water. The white EMA, the 200 EMA is the mayo, okay? And people follow the 50 and the 200, but those are retail trading EMAs. Then you got someone like Savvy, right? Who doesn't really follow the 50. He follows the 55, right? And he doesn't follow the 9 EMA, he follows the 8, right? Why does Savvy do that? Savvy does that because those are Fibonacci numbers. So you got certain traders who will follow Fibonacci number fibs that correlate with regular EMAs, right? The 5 and the 13 are Fibonacci numbers, all right? The 21 EMA, Fibonacci number, all right? Now the 8 is a fib, then you got the 9. People like the 9 because that's a Tesla number, right? You also will have the 233 EMA that I got here. That's a Fibonacci number to correlate with the 200, all right? And you might say, all right, well, what's the difference? Well, let me give you an example. Anybody who follows Fibonacci numbers, and what time frame am I on here? The daily or the 11-day? All right, the 11-day, for example, all right? You're on the 11-day chart. What's one of your favorite, time frames, right? You're on that. It wicked right down to the 233. You could have got a little bit of a better buy if you're on this chart, okay? Now, if you're on, let's say, if you're on the weekly, all right? It went right to the 369 EMA, right in between the 693, right in there, right in that pocket. So if you're an EMA trader and you're using those kinds of things, you can go, all right, there's value there. These are my EMAs, all right? And so I'll go back in the past and, the timing does matter, right? So, for example, the 36-day is one of my favorite time frames, right? So when you go back and you look, right, for example, on the 36-day on the Dow Jones, you wicked right down to the 200 EMA, right? So your time frame is going to matter, all right? You might want to go to like the 9-week, all right? The 9-week is a different time frame, all right? It can give you different things, all right? So on the 9-week here, all right, you can look and see what time frames touch my favorite EMAs. Well, in the Great Depression here, you touched the 200 EMA, and since then, you really almost never touch it, okay? However, you touched it right here in the real estate crisis, right? So that would be maybe where you would want to look for your buys, right? Because is it going to come down and touch it again sometime soon? Maybe, all right? So it can work out on different time frames with different EMAs, all right? Short-term trading strategies for Bitcoin is really, really awesome because it follows the 369 EMA almost to a T. So I went down to like the daily, okay? Let's back it up. Let's get rid of this swing high lows. I know. All right, so here we go. So I look back and I go, all right, on the daily, how often does it touch my 369? How often does it consolidate around there? I'm just curious, right? So here I have the birth of it here back in 2010, all right? And so I go, okay, there's the birth of it. It touched it here. But then I noticed something, okay? So I look at the prices on the peaks. I go, what was the high? It was about 3113. And I'm like, oh, those are interesting. Like 3, 6, and 9 are Tesla numbers. All right, cool. So a guy who trades the 369 will buy it 6 cents once it appears, and then he'll trade the Tesla number. When does he know that's going to happen? Well, he'll go, okay, I can sell here on my Tesla numbers, which they do trade, I'm telling you. All right, 31316, right? And then he'll say, I'm going to wait for a pullback to here, right? So he'll sell here. So you go, where's my 369 EMA? All right, here. Here's a peak. Tesla number, 250. I'll sell at the peak because that's where it is in that current moment, and I'll expect to buy back around 250. What do you get? A nice W formation, right? So now I'm back in. So I sold at $31 and I bought back in at $2 using the 369 EMA strategy. Cool. Now, where was it when I bought? All right. I'm buying around the 550, the 550 region. I would expect price to go back to that using that EMA, right? Now, granted, you don't know it's Bitcoin, but I'm just using this as an example. Cool. So when price goes above 550, There's profit taking. That's why you get this little peek out from above the 369, my gold EMA. All right? Cool. So now you're out of the market, right? And you go, all right, I'm out. I took profits, and you're holding some, right? You can fall below, and you don't know if Bitcoin's going to be a thing or not, right? And so when it pops back above, you can get a nice move, right? And so now you're holding, because now it doesn't go below your EMA, right? You're a 369 trader, However, how would you know when to sell the top, right? So this top is not a Tesla number. Well, 263. 63. All right. 63. Cool. But you see price going to where it's going, right? You see it approaching that, and you go, all right, I see this big formation here. Where's my EMA, right? 31, whatever, right? You might sell a little bit, right? It is 2013. You're a Tesla trader, all right? So $30. Cool. I can sell 269, right? That's basically that was your plan, 269. So you get like this peak here, right? Did it actually go there? No, but whatever. So you don't catch it, and so it probably crashes, whatever. I think that's why that behavior happens. I think. I don't know. But nonetheless, even better time frame than the daily would be the 3-day, right? Something to trade on the 3-day. Because trading the daily is for, gamblers, right? In essence. Okay? So here you go back to your 3-day and you go, all right, I've accumulated under my 369 EMA. All right? And I'm going to wait for a Tesla number, right? On the 3-day. You've accumulated here in 2015, all right? Because you were on the daily back here, remind you, all right? At 2, whatever. Peak here, right? So you got this peak. And this peak doesn't correlate with a Tesla number, all right? Not really, right? The opens and the closes, somewhere in there. I'm probably sure one of these 3-day bars high is a Tesla number. So the high was 998. So there you go. The high was 9. You're a 369 trader. You're taking profits at 900. Period. All right? And it goes a little bit higher. It doesn't matter to you, right? So, 1233, fine, was the high. Fine. You took profits at 9. You are waiting for now a pullback. Some kind of pullback because it's a big move. Remember, you're in from way back here. All right, way back here. All right, and you see 3 hits to the high, right? Because you were on the daily. Maybe you waited for the 3-day to appear. So you kind of bought in during this period, this stagnant period, right? You get them up in here. You're up like 10,000%, right? You're going to take some profits, okay? So you go, all right, I'm on the 3-day. I hit my $900 target. All right, I'm going to wait for a pullback. Where can I expect a pullback on the 3-day? Oh, the 369 around that peak was around $96, right? So I'm going to be expecting price to come around that EMA on the 3-day time frame on some level, right? Here you go. So you're going to buy back in. It hits my EMA. I make a buy. 300 to Tesla number. Cool. All right. Now it drops. I'm sure there is panic selling, okay? Because don't forget, you should have made a ton of money by now, but, you buy here, right? It comes up, and then it drops 66%. You're probably freaking out, okay? But really, you should give it some leeway. If you're looking back in the chart, you should know that you have some support back here, not freak out. All right? But people do. People freak out because it's money. So you get people that freak out, but you also have people who buy the dip underneath the 369. Right? You come back up, you hit it again, you get rejected from it, you're going to get a big sell-off because you just got 2 rejections on the 369, and you know that maybe the third is going to reject hard and that this thing's going to go to F and 0 because you don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is and all this other stuff, okay? However, if you're on the 3-day, you just so happen to find that when it's selling off, the 693 appears on the 3-day. Interesting. This is one of the best buys that you could possibly get, right? And it doesn't quite touch it, but it appears in this 3-day time frame. So it appeared here, right? And they had 1 day or 1 3-day bar, this 1 3-day bar for it to come near it. What does it come near? What was the low? The absolute low was 162. That means some guys went in hard at 163. 163 on the 693 EMA. A brand new EMA on the 3-day time frame. So I go in. Okay? Are you type 1 if you're with me? Mr. Brown, you still with me, Mr. Brown? Because let me know if I'm crazy. Let me know if I'm nuts. I know people don't. I've been asking my friend to throw this EMA on. He doesn't throw it on. I hope he watches this video. All right. Because don't forget, people do those numbers because they know the big cycle of things, the 306.9 year cycle. Okay? Good, Mr. Brown. We're with me. So now you got yourself a nice double bottom structure, right? Right here. Beautiful. This is gorgeous formation. Gorgeous. Right off the 693 EMA. You can expect 1, 2, and then 3 hits to the high, right? You can expect something like that. Taking profits, 3 times. People take profits and let the rest ride. Now, you're half out here with money to buy back in because now you've made a ton of money. Okay? God knows how much you've made here. All right? You've made 700%, right? So you can take half off the table and wait for the 369 because you're back above it. All right? You don't care, right? Because you're going to let the rest ride. Now you make and you don't know what the hell this is about to do. You don't know what Bitcoin is, right? But you're trading the 309 year cycle, right? And in that cycle, okay, that the Dow Jones and general markets should be peaking out when? All right. So you're on that cycle here on the 3-day in general markets. General markets in general. 2017, I said, right? 2017, you're going to get a peak somewhere in here, right? Where are we? Here. 15, right? 2017. So, peaks are coming right here based on this model. All right? That's when peaks are coming. All right? I'm looking for a peak formation, around 2015 to 2017. 2 years. You're looking for some kind of peak formation. All right? And you're in Bitcoin. So you're going to look for that. All right? And that's where that peak comes in. Right? It just peaks out at a different time. All right? Happens to peak out at, on this chart, look at that, 19,931.50. You got your 9s and your 3s in there. All right? You got all those 9s and 3s. Heavy profits need to be taken. You're going to take, because you still have no idea if Bitcoin is going to be a thing. You're just in a speculative asset class. Basically, you guys millionaires gambling with their $1 million. Whatever. I'll buy some fucking Bitcoin. Why not? Why not? Right? There's a thing called Coinbase or Mt. Gox or whatever the hell it is. Right? I'm going to buy it there and I'm exchanging on these things. Okay? So, but you're trading that. So, okay. I hit my Tesla numbers, and I don't know how high it's going to go. But why is there a sell-off? What is it about this number, right? Some people say 20K. Did it hit 20K? All right, well, if you actually look at the actual high, it hit 19,804, right? On the actual high of that one, right? This one was, 1765. But you're approaching it, right? You're approaching it 19K. You go 19. 19.6, 19.3, 19.3, I'm taking profits. 19.3 is almost the actual top. Okay? Cool. So you go, all right, where is my 369 EMA around my peak, my profit-taking region? Well, 23. Cool. Where is my 693 EMA around my profit-taking region? My Tesla numbers. 14. All right. So your job is to buy in between the EMAs when they come to fruition. You're not looking for these numbers. you're looking for this region in here. This is wherever this region ends up in here, and it ends up happening right in here. One of the best buys that you could have in that bear market was in between here. You know you need to accumulate in here. Now you're on the 3-day. All right? Is that going to work again? Because remember, as the market matures, right, different time frames need to be used. So, okay. All right. Maybe I need for this next cycle to switch to the 6-day, right? You can do that. But you're going to, and this is why COVID is a thing. I don't know. But look, then this happens, this nonsense, right? Big accumulation. But where does it hit? The absolute bottom? The light gold EMA. Which one is that for me? I forget. I switched these numbers around, but let me look it real quick. It is the 8. All right, the 8 was the 9, right, the 936. The 936, all right? You got that on there, right? You don't expect it to hit it because it's such a low number, but it actually wicks right to it. So now it's got your 369, it's got your 693, and it's got this one right here, right? Fibonacci traders are left in the dust. This is your 987. They missed it, but you caught it because you're a Tesla trader, all right? You got your 800. Maybe you're that guy. But remember, this is COVID. You're gonna buy the most risky asset, during a pandemic. Sure, why not? Whatever. But you're trading that EMA, fine. But again, it goes down 12%, right? Whatever. Have you done a dive on ordinals? No, I haven't, Bullish. I will look that up. Ordinals. I'll look it up. Is that a trading strategy or is that an asset? I don't know. So, okay, wait. So here we are. Let me know. All right, so you got 3,900. All right, big number, 3,916. 3,916.99. I want that. I'm a Tesla trader. Cool. I make my buy, right? Don't forget, I also probably took some profits up here, right? Because why? It hit some of my profit-taking numbers. 13.99 is what I was looking for. 13.69, whatever. It's a wick. That's why I wick. I'm selling, my Tesla numbers, right? I sell what I can, whatever I want. I've made money because I've made a 9x or whatever this was. What was this move? 100%, 300%. Cool. Blockchain built on BTC Satoshis. Okay, I'll look into it, Bullish. Ordinals. I'll check it out. All right. So here we go. You have the crisis. You come back in. I don't know if you're all in. You probably have some cash on the side, whatever. All right. And then it gets back above all of your EMAs. Nice wick back up. BRC20. I'll look into it. Ordinals. Definitely. All right. I just want to explain this concept to you guys because you go, all right, if you're on the 3-day time frame, right? Remember, in this cycle, it worked for you to buy back in on your EMAs. It worked. However, you also know that markets mature and you need to up your time frame. So now you're going to go to the 6-day because you're going into a new 8.6-year cycle in the big grand scheme of things. All right, on your 6-day, you have found a bottom here on your 369. Cool. You got another hit to it. Cool. Okay. You also have the birth of the 693. Happens to be at the birth of it 38.23. But why is there profit taking up here? Because it's a 6 number, right? So profits are taken at 30K, right? Where did we get the 30? See? Right here. 30 profit taking was done. See if it holds. It holds. I sold 20% of my bag. Cool. My next profit is 6 and 9. Remember, people were holding, hoping for 100, right? They say 100, but really, they're going to sell on you at 90. Okay, remember, they're not going to sell 100. People would do that. Okay, so all right, you got 6. The absolute wick up here is 64990. Cool. Okay, You are taking profits. That Wyckoff distribution that goes on from the people who've been trading this strategy since the beginning of Bitcoin's birth. All right, this particular strategy. Now, I wasn't there. I've never found anyone that does this. I made this up. This is my strategy, but I'm not. This isn't mine. One of the things I'm getting excited, but again, like I'm not going to be pompous and say this is mine. I discovered this. Like math wasn't invented; it was discovered. So I am not taking credit for what's going on here. Okay, it's just my discovery of what I think people are doing using these numbers because I like Tesla and I'm a math teacher and I like Fibonacci and all that other stuff. So okay, we got profit taking. Where's my 369 during my Tesla numbers hitting? All right, I would want to buy back in somewhere around here, right? It's going to be a region now, right? I would want to buy back in somewhere around here, right? It's at 10K, but that's not where the EMA. I want to buy back in when my EMA comes to price. When they meet, when those two forces meet, when price meets the 369, okay? So I want to buy. What happens? On the 6th day, you get a nice wick. Right past it, close back above. That's why it does that, in my opinion. A wick past the 369, close back above. All right? Cool. Now, you have some consolidation, all right? However, 25K, 24K, look, this is crazy. We all know what's going on. Again, what's going on in the macro? What wave are we going into in the big cycle? Why is there selling going on here at this level, right? This is August of 2022, right? Going into the midpoint. So where's the midpoint, right? So you come back over here and you go, I don't know. I know that there's going to be, I need to take off half. See what happens. You take off half. So there's profit taking in the big players, right? And they don't worry about it because don't forget they've made tons of money on this. This is just gambling money. It could go to zero. They don't care, right? They're not emotional about it. So there's some profit taking. Fine. It comes back to my EMA, so I buy a little bit here, a little spike above, 2 hits. So now I got 1, 2, 3 hits, and a big sell-off, right? Where maybe these traders would freak out. However, they also know that they have support down here at 12 and have orders there. And you can see that in the order book. In fact, if I go to the order book on Bookmap, I was looking here and I go, what the F is this? Why the F do people have orders down here at 12? Why would they have orders at 12? I don't know if you saw it, but it was there. All right. If you go to the Bookmap, there's orders there at 12. Why are they there? Why 12? Why does it have to go to 12K? Why do they think it's going to go to 12K? They don't know if it's going to go to 12K, all right? They just put their orders there. You think it's going to go to 12K because there's orders there. Because there's interest there, all right? Oh, my computer's freezing. Come on. Apple. Let me know if you're still with me. Tell me what you think of what I'm saying. I know I have a viewer in here, probably bullish. All right, let me know what you think so far as I try to navigate my terrible computer system at the moment. Come on. Come back to me. You know, am I crazy? Is it a nuts strategy? Maybe. You know? One thing is, that's why we're coming up on 30K. This is a big profit-taking region. All right? You don't know if it's going to get back to 69. You don't know. All right? That's why 69K top forever is a saying. All right? This is nuts. What's going on here? Maybe I got to pick a different... Is this thing frozen? Am I frozen? Are you guys still with me? How's this? How's the stream? Look, they don't want you to know. I'm giving out the bad info. Go figure. I go to the book map and I go to show you the orders. I guess. I don't know. Maybe I need to shut this down. Dang. Alright, maybe I got technical difficulties. Get out of here. Give me 1 second while I fix this nonsense. Jesus Christ. Well, of course, whenever I'm teaching, man, like the principal call, something always freaking happens. How do I get out of this? Alright, maybe if I close down, I may have to exit and come back. Alright? I may have to exit and come back. One moment. I guess what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to start it back up. I'll share it back in the Discord, I guess. Because this thing is being weird. I guess. Let me go here. If I close out my Explorer, I'm probably going to close out the stream. Alright, so I'm going to end the stream and I'm going to come back. Alright? I'll be right back. I can't even end the stream. Oh, wait, we're back. We're good. There we go. Yeah, sweet. Alright. Thank goodness. Now come back. Oh, Jesus Christ. This is a nice... Oh, there we go. Finally. Alright. We're back. I don't care if I'm frozen. Alright. We're here now. Alright. Who's with me? We still got... Stream is fine. Alright, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Alright. So, again, we're on the 6-day time frame. Okay? And I have orders stacked down here. However, you are a 369 trader, okay? And you trade those time frames. So you go to your 9. Where's your buy going to be? At the 369 EMA on the 9. So when pins are issued 1 and 2, those are buys for you. Okay? Now you don't know, you know, and where's your profit, right? Your my profits are going to be in the 30K region. Okay? 3, 33, 39, 36, right? And you don't mind waiting, right? Because if it comes back down here, that's also your support, where you will offer support, okay? You don't have, you know, your 693 on this time frame, okay? But you go, all right, well, where did you appear? You appeared down here, right? So anyone that saw it appear down here, right? It appears it actually got a big drop off, right? But you also are on those other time frames, so the 3 and the 6. So you're buying there, and you go, all right, where can I buy again when it hits this 9? I can buy here. Now, what can I expect? You don't know. Again, you don't know what to expect. You can expect to take profits at your 369 targets. So we got 30, awesome, right? You know, you got other ones in here, but again, like 6.9, you don't know if it's going back to 6.9. You really don't, right? So you can draw your little retracement, right? Or what have you, right? And see if it gets back above 33. Because getting back above half of the range is bullish. So you want to see if it gets above 33, right? And then you'd probably be selling around 39, right? And then buying back in once this EMA shows you something, right? You need to show me something. I can sell half at the 50 and then wait. We come below the 50, I can sell another half here and see if these hold, depending on where it tops. And we're going to assume it tops at, you know, at the golden pocket. We're going to assume that. If it tops at the 50, right, at 33, then you're going to reverse your fibs. All right? If I top there, you know, if-then statements. If I top here. Those are your lines. And we're going to assume that they're topping around those lines because we don't know where that is yet. All right? So I'm going to take that. I'm going to say, all right, I didn't get past the 50 mark. Fine. I can reverse my Fibonacci and go, all right, what's likely here? Is this going to be crossing the golden pocket, you know, at around 20,322? Maybe. The numbers don't matter because remember, you're trading the EMA. So maybe you get a bounce from this region. You've already gotten the bounce, right? And you got a wick here. So you might say, all right, that is definitely a spot where I want to be trading, right? And then you can look to other time frames, you know, like the people think in when you're trading this. I'm not gonna say that people do this, but people that are into these numbers trade in a different dimension than other people. Okay, what are your dimensions? What's the highest dimensional level? Like 11 dimensions, right? So you might be using the 11-day and go, listen, absolutely need to buy some on the 11-day 369 EMA. Must. Look at this move I got out of here. When I bought here, the absolute bottom, right, of almost 934, right, 99, all that, you got a great move. I got a great move out of that. I can expect 14K to be support. And then you can go and go, all right, where is this EMA appearing and getting jumps off of? And you can kind of experiment. Well, I don't have it on my 16-day, but I do have it on my 13-day, right? I have it here. Just so happens to line up with the golden retrace here at 9K. Man, if you could get Bitcoin at 9K. People don't think it can go there. It can go there. It can absolutely go there. Why can it go there? Because you're in this cycle right here. All right? I don't say it can't go there, but I'm not going to wait for it to go there. I am big money. I can buy any level I freaking want. If Bitcoin could go to $2,000, I would buy it. I've made money. Bitcoin makes me money. Is it going to be here? Who does it? Who cares? I've already made billions. What's another 200 million of profits I've taken from up here to buy back in and see what happens with it? They don't care. They'll put their money in. People will put their Bitcoin makes money. That's the thing that people need to understand. Is it a thing? Is it a store of value? It makes money. That's what it does. Great. Whether it goes up or down, it does make money. So it doesn't matter whether it goes up or down to these people, right? However, for long buys, for support, I look to these EMAs. All right. Now this is your cycle around 2018, right? Because remember, you are a 309.6 year cycle trader. All right. And you came into this cycle, pi was the end of the third wave. 2020, you've now at the midpoint of the fifth wave. Are you going to be in Bitcoin? Because remember, there's a war. If there's a war, the first thing in war is people take out the power sources, mess with the satellites, you know? So am I going to be able to exchange Bitcoin if there's no internet? Is it, you know, can I put my money into the Bitcoin network and have it still be there? What if all those mining pools get blown up in some kind of guerrilla warfare? So like you got to understand, you got to think like this. Do I give a fuck? Because it's only 200 mil or 100 mil of my $5 billion. Do I really give a fuck? We need to give a fuck. They don't. They could put their wealth on the Bitcoin network and have it go down for the next 30 years. And then when it comes back up, it'll be a thing again. Great. I got some somewhere. Lost keys, what have you. Did you say you look at the 16-day with the 369? Yes. So that's interesting, right? So it's not there yet. It's not there yet. And so I'm waiting for it to appear. However, we're in June. June is a 6 number, right? June 30th, June 6-3 is a good number, right? So I expect a move to be happening, whether it be up or down. Now I was watching Tino before and he said there's options expiry. These guys, they bet on Bitcoin being at the 30K region, okay, around this time. So they bet. Mr. Market Maker honors that bet and he takes the other side of it. Now, these guys are the big money, okay? So can we expect it to stay there? Maybe. Because in that way of thinking, let's go like the 9 hour. Mr. Market Maker's job is to fill orders and make a profit. He doesn't care whether Bitcoin goes to 39, 33. His job is to fill the orders and keep the bank liquid. So what do you do around this region? You hold. You collect the short contracts. You collect the doubters. Because now I have short liquidity. If I build up billions up here in short liquidity, I can go up and liquidate those fools because I have enough money, right, to go up there. I can buy up spot. How much money does it really take to move Bitcoin? What? 20%, right? How much money would it take? How much money do I need to induce people to buy so they can help me move price, right? Now I've got billions up here. Now, there's guys who buy the 369. They have orders up here. They have profit-taking orders. I can go up and get their Bitcoin, and I can buy it and hold it because I'm the market maker. I make the market, all right? I can buy right here. I can buy it, sure. Anyone can buy it. I can just move price there. There are going to be some buyers. Someone always buys the top, right? There's going to be buyers up here. FOMOers. Cool. Okay? And not only that, I can fill the orders of the guys who bought at 16, and I can liquidate the fools who don't think it can go here. Because they're fools. Because price can go wherever the hell it needs to go. Right? Because these guys are playing these wicks over here, but they have to worry about these wicks over here. So they go, there's selling going on here. You know? Perceived support and resistance. All right? It's just how the candlesticks work. So they're just playing that. All right. Now the big one is this wick right here, around 34. So, but there's probably going to be a massive sell order of Bitcoin for them to go up and get it 36. There's a guy that wants to sell 36. I bet you. That's his order. It's right in the middle here, between these two, right? So there's your middle of the range, right? Because my profit taking as a 369 trader is the 33. The 36. Will I get to the 39? No. But I'm going to have big orders at 3. That's why you get a pullback at 3. Right? All right, cool. Where did I get a bounce from? Here. Now, this is a future target, but I just so happen to bounce off the 382. Why does it do that? Keeps the trend bullish. Bullish trend. It's a low fib. Okay? Because if I'm selling here, right, I can sell. I can buy back here. I'll buy a little bit back, at this fib, just to hold price so I can sell more up here at 36. Because I got to keep the trend going, right? I'm the buyer and the seller of this asset. All right? So that's why you get that bounce, okay? So I want my orders to be filled at 36. I need to break resistance, okay? How do you break resistance, right? Well, he needs to hold. The market maker will hold because now his job is to fulfill his obligation to your order, which he probably has on his books that we don't see, right? It's not on Bookmap or it's some hidden freaking exchange that they use. I don't know. That's weird stuff, but all right, that's fine. And now Mr. Market Maker on the futures contracts, how many positions does he really have? Well, we know using Tino's method that he has positions up here at 33.90 where he sold people shorts and he had to go long, right? He had to go long here. There's guys who are just holding Bitcoin short who think it's going to fucking zero. Okay, guys? These guys that shorted up here, right? They saw the double top. They shorted here. First of all, their stops are probably at 48, but a good trader would move their stops down right below previous high, right? So you got 41. And an even better one would move it probably in between this candle on the 16-day, right into these wicks. Between the wicks is where they would keep the stops between the wicks, right? So there's stops here at 33.667. There's stops here at 30, probably at 36. So hit the stops, hit the stops. That's why you get that wicky behavior. Hit the stops, fill the orders, drop. Hit the stops, fill the orders, drop. That's what they do. They're just filling orders, hitting stops, building positions in the future where price can go. So now I know that he has, by the way, that's a green candle on yours. I have it on red. Why? Because he has shorts in these positions to hedge himself, right? On some level, right? Because you know people ain't paying themselves. People don't think that Bitcoin can go back down below this box. Because right now everyone's probably drawing out this box right here. Well, that's support right there where the bodies are. And there's a wick there. And probably can't go back down to there. Right? Anyone who's a believer. Bitcoin, the lows are in, guys. The lows are in. Okay? You don't know that. Could they be in? Maybe. It's likely. Very likely. Okay? However, the market maker doesn't know that. The market maker has a nice gap here on the 16-day at 669-ish. There's a nice gap in here for him to come fill with his orders in them. Does price need to go there? No. It's just a position he has. He can close this. He might have closed this position by now. We don't know what he has open. However, we did know that he had has positions here. Okay? Now, he could have closed these positions with no intent on coming back down here. Right? He has no intention of coming here. However, if you notice, this is the Binance Futures chart. Where does it start? It starts on August 19th. Remember, you're a big cycle person. You're trading the 8.6-year cycle. All right? That started in 2017, 18-ish? Yeah, 2018. Why does the Binance Futures start right there? Because this is the new 8.6-year cycle. So this is an area of interest in this cycle. And if you're a box trader, right, you might draw boxes, right? I'm a buyer somewhere here. If I'm above this box, I'm a buyer. Okay, if I'm above this box, I'm a seller, right? If I'm in the middle, I'm accumulating. So you're a box trader now. Okay? So there you go. You got some boxes. All right? You don't know where price is going to go. You're a seller up in this top box. You're an accumulator in the middle. You'll accumulate in the middle. You'll even accumulate below this box. You will. You'll accumulate it too. Because you're big money. That's fine. Why not? It can go to 2. Right? Why not? So, you accumulate there. All right? And then you're just going to get another box here at 2. Right? In the future. Let's say it does go to that. They'll try to project out the future and shit. So, they'll buy. They're just for fun. Because they're gambling. Whatever. Anyway. So, this is this cycle. Why does it do that? All right? So, but remember, every chart for Bitcoin is different. So, the Binance chart, right, in general for spot, began here in 2009. All right? Interesting. That the Binance chart would be 30th of 2009. Why does it do that? Right? I don't know. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. That's the index chart. My bad. But nonetheless, that's the Bitcoin index chart. It's something to note. That's the one with the most data. Okay? Remember, Bitcoin doesn't sleep, but it trades on the 9. So you got Binance Spot, who begins here in 2017, getting ready for the new 8.6